It is time for the final four. So
The
every
final
show,
four.
the final four. So every show, we end the show with these four questions. They're meant to challenge the streamer, maybe bring about some topics that we didn't touch on. Some of them we did, and we'll just kind of, make some highlights of those points that we hit. Are you ready, Delta?
Always.
All right. If you could go back and change one decision you've made in your streaming career, what would it be?
Actually, I wouldn't change a thing
Yeah.
because I'm a firm believer in every journey in business or just if streaming is your hobby, you have got to make your mistakes.
Yep.
You're never going to get one streamer who's not made a mistake, not one.
Sure.
And you learn from them. So, say for instance, your first time at a bar job, your bar shift, you picked up the wrong glass to pour a pint of ale. Something. It's
Oh
silly,
yeah.
but it's the
Yep.
same practice, same
Or
practice.
you dropped a glass in the ice bin, it broke, and now we got to
Oh
change
mate,
out the
that
ice. It's
is
just
the
the
worst.
cardinal sin of bartending, right?
Yeah, do not do it. But you learn from it. That's the thing.
Right.
You learn from it. I used to be the guy, and I'll admit it. I don't hope I'm not promoting this. Do not ever fucking do this. Uh, I used to be the guy that would go in and leave subtle hints in people's streams just to let everybody know that I was a streamer. This is way before. This is back when it was like the time that I did spend on Beam. Like I would
Yeah.
say, bye now. I'm going to go and stream. I'll be back later. Or me and my friend had a good stream. Or it's like things like that. Subtle things. Do not talk about your stream in anybody's chat, guys. That's bad work etiquette. Nobody wants it. Nobody will follow you. So please do not do that. But if you wanted to make a mistake and then learn from it, do it. But don't do it. But no, I wouldn't change a thing for me personally. I've learned my mistakes. I've learned from my mistakes, and I've made sure that I'm never make them again.
Love it. If you were to restart your stream tomorrow from scratch, what's the first thing that you'd do?
So this is one that I don't get. That I'm not really sure on that question. So when you say restart your stream, is that from
Everything from scratch. You
zero?
started
So
over,
right? Okay,
right?
I thought you
You
just meant like
started completely over, right? Day one, 0 followers. Well, one because you followed yourself,
mhm.
right? Yep, we got one.
uh,
We got one on the board.
that's it.
What's
That's
the
me.
first thing that you do?
That's
You got
I've
no
made it.
equipment,
I've followed
nothing.
myself. The first thing that I would do then is if I started with 0 followers, just made a fresh account, is I would network. I would not even stream for about a month, maybe 2 months.
Really?
I would write a plan. I would spend time in a lot of people's channels because that's how you make your introduction. You socialize on the platform you want to be, that you want to be a part of. So I would have to know what communities I want to be involved with, what streamers follower games I want to be involved with, who do I talk to? I don't want to be the guy spending the only time they're spending on Mixer just streaming because you're not going to get followers that way. You're not going to get viewers that way. I would spend 2 months networking on the platform, hanging out in channels regularly as often as I can. And another thing too, I would encourage everybody to do this. When you go into a streamer's channel, do not just solely direct your conversation to the streamer. Go
Yep.
to talk to everybody you can at them, ask them what's up, because the people watching that streamer are the people you're going to be talking to on a regular basis when you go and hang out, and then that's the same people that'll be like, "Yo, I seen him in King Bailey Bomb stream. I'm going to go and watch Delta. He was talking to me in that stream the other day. He
Yeah.
streams. I'm going to go and hang out." So there you go. You've already made friendships in that because the people you're talking to, they're people. They're not names and numbers on the screen. Their lives. They're people. They like the same content that you're enjoying.
Right.
Then
Right.
that's the people you're going to be, essentially creating the relationship with, who will come by, support you. You can go and
Yeah.
support them if you want to, but that's what I would do. I would spend the time that I first
Man,
two
that's so
months,
smart.
first
I
two
love
months
that answer.
introducing my presence rather than
Yeah.
just going live and expecting my presence to be known.
Right. I mean, because it gives you such a base. Like it's almost like now your stream is now you've done that for 2 months.
Yeah.
Day one of month three, you're going around being like, hey, I think I'm going to start streaming. And you have all these people are like, you should totally do it. We'll bring you a
Yeah.
host. And just, it's like a launch, right? So instead of just launching with nothing, with no audience, everybody wants an audience. Well, that's a great way to build an audience before you launch your product.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's like imagine Michael Jordan holding a wine mixer and you went to it, but you spoke to nobody but Michael Jordan for the entire 3 hours.
That's fair.
Yep. So, but if you went, you spoke to everybody else. Yes, you made so many more connections. You've put people around you, that you could probably collaborate with and make a friendship with.
If you had the power to change one thing about the streaming industry, what would it be?
Uh,
What would you like to see even adjusted in the smallest thing?
in the industry, there's a lot of things wrong with the industry, but that's what makes the industry what it is. You know, it's
Sure.
not an easy thing to break through. There's a lot of things you need to fight up against. There's a lot of things I like. There's a lot of things I don't like. The ones that really affect me just now that kind of racks that is a lot culture is the auto hosts and things like that. You know, that's it kills interactivity. You know, we've got as a business from a business perspective, you know, it's not good just always seeing auto host. Like me personally, I'm very grateful that somebody has trusted my channel with their channel to be on that auto host list. And but it's gotten to the point now where that's like all it is. You know, it's easy to support somebody with not being there, and it's all circumstantial. And I'm not bashing anybody, but um, it's easy to support somebody and lurk and then have say 15 people came from the auto host of one person, then 20 came from the other auto host. That's you get 35 people not there in your channel, which then inflates your numbers. And it's hard for me right now to measure my organic community because you know you don't know who's there, who's not, and it can be very daunting too to a content creator who's used to having a busy chat and big numbers, and you're trying your hardest to talk to the chat, but nobody's there to reply. But you've got 115 viewers, you know, so that's something that I would change just on this platform just now. So for me, if there was anything I would change, it would be get rid of Sparks. I don't think Sparks do anything, but for content creators now, I think there's a lot of culture that's building here, and there could be a potential subculture that would improve revenue for partners on Mixer.
Yeah.
You know, other platforms I've spent time on. I've been subbed before I've even followed. Like 2 seconds after I followed, I get gifted a sub because subculture is huge on other platforms. But we are introduced. We've got Sparks that are no longer monetary value. They do
Yeah.
serve a small purpose, but when somebody drops 2 million Sparks, that leaves a mindset of I've already contributed to support you, but
Yes.
it's not doesn't support me and my family sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't keep me doing this. And I'm not saying I'm not grateful because I'm very grateful that somebody comes into my channel, let alone
Right. Right.
do that. But as a business standpoint, we cannot survive on Sparks, you know. So if we had no Sparks and subs would be more gifted subs and bigger quantities and things like that, that's what I would change on Mixer and auto hosts
Do you
work.
feel like everybody should have subs
What
like
do you
on
mean?
Twitch?
Oh, the open monetization you talk like the
Yeah, because on Twitch
non-partners.
you don't need to be a partner, right? I mean, I don't even know what partnership means on Twitch because anybody can sub to your channel.
Yeah, you get an affiliate. You get an affiliate thing on Mixer. I do not think that everybody should have a sub button because we're not ready for it yet. We're still a lot of growing to do. I don't even think, and it's no disrespect to anybody who has it, but open monetization yet, that's ruined the platform for me personally. I believe that's a thing that's made the platform a little bit more difficult for partners because a lot of their communities that which this is kind of introduced the luck culture because partners have great viewership. They had great viewership. They had active chats. Chats were always booming. But then their viewers got a taste. They heard news that they can stream and make a quick buck doing it. And if it was me,
Okay.
if I heard that I was not partnered and I could stream and make money, shit, I would go and do the exact same thing. But for partners, the ratio between streamers and viewers has now changed. So
And you saw that switch as soon as, I mean, basically the open monetization on Mixer was Embers, right? You realized
yeah,
that
because
anybody could
viewers
receive Embers. Yeah.
yeah, viewers turn to embers and like by all means go for it because for all I know, the next ninja could be a non-partner but making
Yeah.
embers. You know, so we don't know. I'm not bashing it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying
No, I think it's a fair assessment though. You
yeah,
know, like, yeah, I mean, if I'm sitting here and I'm watching and I'm just a viewer on the platform and they open monetize to where I can make money too now,
yeah,
I'm
you'd be
probably going
fucking
to be
doing it
tempted.
every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably going to be tempted to make a run at it too without having, I mean, in a way, do you think that's probably contributed to like the lack of quality
What do you mean the lack of quality?
in
No,
terms of
just
just like content, the lack of quality content on here? Because I mean, just like everybody can do it. And do you feel like if the open monetization was taken away, that fewer people would just kind of take a half baked approach at it? like
I
a
don't
half
know,
foot.
but when you see streamers, they're not. They're just. You can see the ones that are doing it just for a quick buck,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they've got now receiving embers, and their donation link is the only thing in their bio, like things like that, and that's.
yeah,
It's like you're not ready. You're not doing it for the right reasons. Don't ever go into streaming just for money because you'll
right,
be sorely disappointed.
right.
My overall, I'll work around 80 plus hours a week. I'm always thinking about streaming. I'm always doing it. I never switch off, and I make way below minimum wage. And
Yeah,
I've been partner for a year, so don't expect money, guys. If you're ever
yeah. I mean, I think, yeah, that's a really interesting conversation because while the open monetization provides more opportunity, right, that opportunity can be exploited and can actually hurt an industry in a way,
it was the
right?
combination, I think, at the time, and we signed Ninja, and then we signed Shroud, and then that backfired because at that time the platform is still small. We do not have a great deal of viewership right now compared to other platforms. So introducing something that drastically changed the viewer ratio with the streamer ratio to the same. We have the exact same amount of streamers as on another platform than Twitch does. We've got the same amount of streamers, but we don't have the same amount of viewers because it's all changed because everybody wants
Yeah.
a piece of the embers.
Oops. Yeah. What do you think sets apart? And this, you're probably pretty well equipped to answer this because you do help so many smaller streamers. What do you think sets apart successful streamers from those who give up, fail, or never get started?
Realistically, and don't be offended, guys, because like I said, I'm not going to sell you bullshit. I will be completely honest with you, and it's not to criticize you, but they did not. However, if they didn't want it enough, they
Yeah.
just did not want it enough. They were not willing to, and I understand it's all circumstantial. Work gets in the way, job gets in the way,
Right.
and streaming might just not be for you, and that might not be for those people, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's not me saying that you're not giving enough effort. I understand it's circumstantial, but for the ones who are doing it and they're not growing and they're not willing to change, they're not willing to adapt, you don't want it enough because there's a lot of people, there's a lot of work that goes into streaming. You have to sacrifice. You'll have to give up your weekends out with your friends. You have to sacrifice going to the normal shit that you do in your daily routine, and you have to get rid of it.
Yeah.
To an extent, because your time will be required to work in your channel when you're not live. No discipline. You need to discipline yourself, want it, make the change, make the sacrifice, and you need to do research. I cannot stress that enough. Like I said earlier, I did not start streaming with a degree in Photoshop and video editing. I spent countless hours. I could probably, like, it's ridiculous, watching YouTube tutorials and then
Yeah.
failing it and then doing it again.
I think that's really good advice because essentially you're saying that it's easy to want something. It's easy to want to be really successful, right?
Yeah,
And I think what you're saying, I think it's fair. I think it really comes down to if you say that you want something, there's going to come a time when that means that you need to either adjust, adapt. You always have to constantly go. You have to be willing to do the things to achieve the
yeah.
success that you say that you want. Because if you're not willing to do that, then you don't, as you said, you don't really want it.
Yeah, you need to be open to change. Like
Yeah,
you need to want it enough to give up your weekends. To give up your daily routine, to discipline yourself and sit at home research. It might get boring. It might get is this worth it? But like if you're passionate about it and you want it
yeah.
bad enough, it will be worth it.